She's one of the most powerful women on the planet, nicknamed the Iron Lady of Europe. Yet few truly know the extraordinary story behind her polished image. A trained medical doctor turned politician, a mother of 7 who commands the European Union, and a woman who balances quiet elegance with steely resolve. Ursula von der Leyen has redefined leadership in the 21st century. But what does life look like behind the curtains of Brussels? How much is she really worth? What homes does she retreat to? And what secrets lie in her garage? Today, we're diving deep into the life, luxury, and legacy of the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. As of 2025, Ursula von der Leyen's estimated net worth stands at $3.5 million to $4 million. While this might seem modest compared to global billionaires, it's a substantial sum for a public servant in Europe. Her primary source of income comes from her role as President of the European Commission, which pays a base salary of €336,072 per year, plus allowances that can push the total annual compensation above €400,000. Before this, she served as Germany's defense minister and held several other cabinet-level positions under Chancellor Angela Merkel. In addition to her public salary, Ursula earns income from investments, royalties from publications, and guest lecture engagements, especially from think tanks and universities. However, as an EU leader, she follows strict ethics guidelines with full financial disclosures required. That means no board memberships, no private lobbying, and no outside business activity. She's not about extravagant displays of wealth, but rather about quiet financial strength, disciplined planning, and European sensibilities. Ursula von der Leyen was born on October 8, 1958, in Brussels, Belgium. Yes, the very city where she would eventually rule over the European Union. She was born into privilege. Her father, Ernst Albrecht, was a senior EU official and later the Premier of Lower Saxony in Germany. Her early years were steeped in the world of diplomacy and transnational politics. She spoke both German and French fluently as a child and was educated at some of Europe's most elite institutions, including the European School in Akolo and later the University of Göttingen. Despite her prestigious roots, Ursula chose a path of intellectual rigor. She pursued economics before switching to medicine, eventually earning a medical degree and working as an assistant doctor at the Women's Clinic of the Hanover Medical School. She also studied at Stanford University during her husband's tenure in the U.S., further shaping her international worldview. Ursula's rise through the political ranks was both steady and historic. She entered politics relatively late, in her 40s, joining the Christian Democratic Union, CDU, in the 1990s. By 2005, she had become Germany's Minister for Family Affairs, where she introduced bold reforms including expanded parental leave and child care support. She later became Minister of Labor and Social Affairs, and in 2013, she broke new ground as Germany's first female defense minister. It was a notoriously male-dominated role, but she handled it with grit and diplomacy, overseeing Bundeswehr reforms and increasing NATO cooperation. Then came her biggest leap. In 2019, after intense negotiations among EU leaders, she was nominated and confirmed as the first-ever female president of the European Commission, the highest executive position in the EU. In this role, she's led the EU through the COVID-19 crisis, energy reform, Ukraine's war response, and the Green Deal. Her policies have shaped the lives of over 450 million Europeans. She's been re-elected for a second term in 2024, extending her leadership to 2029. While Ursula is admired for her poise and professionalism, her career has not been scandal-free. As defense minister, she was criticized for outsourcing key consulting contracts to private firms like McKinsey, with little oversight. This led to a parliamentary inquiry in Germany, questioning her department's financial governance. During her tenure at the EU Commission, she faced backlash for vaccine procurement transparency during the COVID-19 pandemic. Some critics accused her of being too secretive about contract terms with pharmaceutical companies. Still, none of these controversies stuck long enough to derail her political capital. If anything, she's emerged more seasoned, evolving into a leader with global stature and unwavering composure. Ursula von der Leyen maintains an intentionally private domestic life, but known details about her residences paint a picture of understated European luxury. She resides in Brussels during the week in an official EU Commission residence, an elegant apartment nestled near the Berlaymont building. The property boasts high security, modern furnishings, and traditional European architecture with arched windows and marble finishes. Her primary home base, however, is in Hanover, Germany, where she and her husband own a historic half-timbered farmhouse on a spacious estate. The house is over 200 years old, beautifully renovated with rustic wooden beams, a large library, and lush gardens. It's peaceful, academic, and quintessentially Northern German. She's also believed to own a holiday chalet in Switzerland, a serene retreat used for winter skiing and summer hiking. Like everything in Ursula's life, it's more about tranquility than flash. As expected of a European leader, Ursula von der Leyen doesn't flaunt her vehicles, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have interesting tastes. She's often chauffeured in a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, the diplomatic car of choice, equipped with armored protection, advanced AI navigation, and interior wood leather trim. The vehicle costs upward of $140,000, not including customization for security. For personal use, her family is known to favor Volkswagen and Audi, including a fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron, signaling her commitment to EU green policies. She's also been spotted in a BMW iX, one of Germany's premium electric SUVs. While not a gearhead, Ursula does value innovation and eco-conscious engineering. Her garage, much like her leadership, reflects sustainability over excess. Ursula has devoted much of her life to causes related to family, education, and public health. She's been an advocate for women's rights, promoting gender equality in both the German military and EU policymaking. She also pushed for more mental health funding and anti-child poverty legislation across Europe. While she doesn't run a personal charity, her policy work has resulted in millions being funneled toward climate action, refugee support, and digital infrastructure for underserved regions. She regularly donates to Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, and Save the Children, two causes close to her heart given her medical background and motherhood. Ursula von der Leyen is married to Heiko von der Leyen, a medical professor and entrepreneur. Together, they have 7 children. Yes, 7! Making her not just a power figure, but also a full-time mother and mentor. Despite her demanding schedule, she's known to be deeply involved in her children's lives and even homeschooled them during part of their early education. Her family is largely shielded from media attention, but she's spoken openly about the joys and challenges of motherhood. Her hobbies: Ursula is an avid horseback rider, a fan of classical music, and a lover of literature. She plays piano and relaxes by reading historical biographies and modern European fiction. Sundays are often reserved for long walks in the forest, family brunches, and attending Lutheran church services. Ursula von der Leyen is more than just a politician. She's a symbol of modern European identity, one that bridges tradition and transformation, diplomacy and decisiveness, elegance and endurance. From Brussels to Berlin, from medical clinics to war rooms, she has built a legacy that transcends party lines and national borders. Her leadership style is not about volume, but about velocity, not about dominance, but direction. Whether you admire her policies or challenge her decisions, one thing is clear: Ursula von der Leyen has etched her name into the history books, not just as a powerful leader, but as a quiet force that shaped a continent. So, what do you think of Ursula von der Leyen's journey? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of world leaders.